Good morning and welcome on our assembly on
Russia!
Don't you mean the USSR? Don't tell me all the work of us Bolsheviks during the Russian Revolution was in vain. Those revolting peasants.
I think you, Valdemar Lenin, would do well to make a hasty exit while you still can before these stars make mincemeat out of you. Now, gentlemen, oh, and of course, you, my fine lady, please introduce yourselves.
Ivan the Terrible.
I think we best stay on the right side of this one.
I was the first Tsar, crowned in 1547.
And I, Tsar Nicholas II, was the last crowned in 1894, but murdered along with my family at the hands of those British Bloshkoks.
I think they would have something to say about the way you had treated them with self-population over the centuries.
But that's all worse serfs. They had no right. What else did they expect?
Uh-oh, another Bolshevik. Trotsky, leader of the Red Army. I think we can expect more trouble.
Those serfs with no rights didn't deserve the life he gave them. Poverty and misery, that was for most of the population, unless, of course, you were born rich.
But I made Russia great, like me. They didn't call me Catherine the First for nothing.
But at what cost?
Oh, a mere 200,000 of those worthless beings lost their lives and built a capital city named after me, Peter the Great.
That would be St. Petersburg, just because you didn't like the old capital, Moscow.
Well, I'm glad to see Moscow went back to being the capital city again. After all my hard work building that magnificent Kremlin building and St. Basil's Cathedral, right here in the heart of Moscow.
I strongly suspect you didn't do a lot of the building yourself.
Well, of course not. He was a star. Way above getting his hands dirty. That was for the commoners.
And I'm guessing these commoners didn't benefit from any of the schools and hospitals you had built.
Well, of course not. They were rich. Who else?
Oh dear, no wonder those commoners took matters into their own hands in 1917.
The end of the Tsars, hooray!
Oh dear, I do apologize for that. Arguably not the best way to start off an assembly, but as I think you find out for yourselves, Russia is and was a large land of huge contrast. Let's hear more about these.
Come
Wow, that was amazing. What a performance.
And what amazing music. I think I can take credit for that.
Ah, the great Tchaikovsky himself. The world of music owes you so much.
Okay, ballerina. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay.
Wow, yet another amazing performance. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank the Bolshoi Ballet School.
They taught us.
Hours and hours of practice every day.
You have to be truly dedicated to your ballerina. It's a comedy.
you. No wonder Russian gymnasts always do so well at the Olympics.
Our training is very hard.
Hours of practice.
But it's worth it.
And who wouldn't want to shine at the Olympics?
Yes, and I think we'll always remember the darling Munich Olympics when Olga Korbut, who totally wowed everyone with her grace and poise. Amazing! Oh, we are truly spoiled here today to have such entertainment performed here in front of our very own eyes. Thank you so much. Well, I don't know how we follow all of those. I'm feeling quite out of breath just having watched them all. Ah, Mr. Tolstoy, I presume? Maybe I had better not interrupting his reading. That's one massive book.
Indeed. And I, the great Napoleon, was of course the central of the theme.
And title?
Correct. War and Peace. Though I prefer not to dwell on the latter.
Understandable, since you lost.
Okay, so maybe the invasion of the Russia by the French troop wasn't a smart idea.
Certainly wasn't. Here, it's all in this book.
Oh, please don't let us keep you from your reading. I mean, a magnificent read by all accounts, certainly one of the greatest books ever written.
Well, that's very kind of you.
Probably best known as one of the largest novels ever written.
Please don't let us keep you from your reading. And I know that war probably hasn't left you with great memories, but you were rather taken with Moscow, were you not?
Yes. I am not able to fulfill my convey of my impression of the city is the coronation beauty. These were the words I meant, every one of them.
Well, thank you so much.
You see, even soldiers have literally contributed to make.
Indeed. Amazing how well behaved these soldiers can be off the battlefield. Russian assembly.
Oh, hadn't you heard, mate?
Heard what?
That Chelsea Football Club is owned
By a Russian.
Juan Roman Abramovich,
One of the richest men in the world.
in charge of the greatest team in the world.
Oh dear, nothing like lowering the tone of my assembly. It was all so lovely and cultured before that noisy lot turned up. World of art. And who better to represent it than these two amazing Russian artists?
Mark Chagall.
Oh, wonderful! And you, sir?
Vasily Kandinsky.
And this artwork is called?
Squares with concentric circles. Why do you look so surprised?
Oh, just something. Just expecting something.
A little more abstract? Huh? Come on, Chagall. When were we great artists ever appreciated?
what? That's the trouble with those artists. Not the most down-to-earth people.
Your protein pills and put your helmets on. Ground control to Major Tom.
Oh dear. Something tells me these two are not going to be the most down-to-earth folk either. Do introduce yourselves.
Valentina Choroskova, first woman in space.
Yuri Gagarin, first man in space.
Well, congratulations. We are indeed honored to meet you today. Thank you so much for joining us. Back down to earth.
Yeah, isn't it about time we heard some hard physical facts about that wonderful country, Russia?
Be my guest.
Okay, starting with a little geography. Russia is the biggest country in the world. It takes up over a tenth of all the land in the world.
It is over 70 times bigger than the United Kingdom.
It is part of 2 continents.
Europe in the west.
And Asia in the east.
It has many different terrains.
Frozen tundras in the north.
What's in the south?
And huge plains called steppes in the west.
With mountain ice in the east.
Quite a variety then.
I'll say, quite a few extremes.
Turquoise is the coldest town in the world.
In the far northeast of Siberia, temperatures here can drop to minus 70 degrees centigrade in the winter. Then there's Lake Baikal, also in Siberia.
The deepest lake on Earth, at 1,640 meters in depth. It holds a fifth of the world's freshest water.
And it's about 26 million years old.
Wow, that's old.
And what about the river Volga? The longest river in Europe.
And one of Russia's 3 million rivers. And don't forget the world's largest railway, the Trans-Siberian Railway, which runs 5,990 miles from Moscow in the east to Valdivostok in the east. And let's not forget our brown bear, the very symbol of Russia.
Big and strong. And speaking of size, what about the world's heaviest bell in Moscow? The Tsar Cargo.
Wow, that would it be? It couldn't be.
Yes, indeed. A real feather jade egg.
Oh, please be careful. I'm not sure our school insurance will stretch to.
Oh, don't worry about that. As long as those stars you had on at the beginning don't get to hear of this, it actually belongs to one of them.
Oh, really? Well, perhaps this might be a good time to wrap this assembly up. We don't want to go upsetting those stars again. So that really just leaves me to thank you all for being such a wonderful audience today. A huge thank you to our wonderful cast who have told us so many interesting things about Russia, a country which many of us will probably never have been to, but if held in Moscow, from where we will undoubtedly go see many wonderful insights to the city and its mother country, where the 2018 World Cup will be.
Russia!
Thank you.
Yay!
One more time, Val.
Oh, okay. 1, 2, 3.